If you search
Okay.
for IV.
Okay, so what must happen here is, there's 28 questions. We do a factor analysis on this to see what is the valid factors or constructs or dimensions of the quality of strategic management. And this must make sense with your theory. Okay, so the factor analysis, I will not go into too much detail of that, but if, let me just show you the factor analysis that was done by Prof. Venter. Is it coming through? Can you see it, Diru?
Not the factor analysis.
Okay, let me just go there again. Can you see it now?
Yeah, if you scroll down further.
Okay,
here.
okay, there's the factor analysis. So the main thing here is just to decide on how many factors. I won't go into too much detail, there's no time for that. The first thing is you look at this table here, total variance explained. Then if you look at this values here, this total, that's the eigenvalues. There's a 16.27. You see that, Duru?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first component or the first factor. Then the second one and the third one. The cutoff is at 1. So in this case, it indicates there's 3 possible factors or constructs from this strategic management. Okay?
Okay.
And that is 68.78% of the variance. Okay? We need about 60% of the variance, or at minimum 50%. Okay? So then we can say, okay, there's 3 possible factors. That's how you decide on the factors. Okay?
Okay.
You also look at the script plot, but okay, we can just disregard it for now. Now, we decide now and say there's 3 factors. Now we want to see what is these 3 factors, because we have 28 questions. So we want to see how do these questions load onto the factors. Okay? You look at the rotated component matrix. Can you see this?
Yes.
If some of you is totally out, you can just talk. Also, just let me know. Okay? Look at this first question here. Question 2.1. Our organization has clear long-term objectives. So that was one of the statements, one of the 28 statements. You can see it loads onto component 2 because it's 0.83. It must be above 0.4. Okay?
Okay.
So,
sorry, what's component 1, 2, and 3?
Component 1, 2, and 3 is this factors we're talking about now.
Oh, the 3 variables. That's okay.
The new variables that we'll use. And this must make theoretical sense. It must be variables of the quality of strategic management. Okay. Okay. So when you look at this, component 2, the second factor, consists of 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. But you see there's a cross-loading there. It could have been this or that. You all see that 2.5? But we will take it residing at component 2. Okay? Then 2.6 is also there. 2.7 is. Then when we go down, 2.13, 2.14, 2.15, 16, going down, that's the last one. Okay? Now, what you must do now is you must take all these questions here and read through it and see what's the common theme coming out of that. And that will be your factor that you'll use. Okay? Do you hear me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So if you read through this here, 2.1, it's about long-term objectives, then clear vision, strategic decisions. So that's maybe a sort of a strategic management thing.
Okay.
And vision and all of that. You fine with that? If somebody is not fine, you must talk. Okay? So what you do now is you go through these questions here and you give it a read through all of them and give it a name. So then component 2, for instance, could be something like strategic management, vision, and all of that. And that would be a new variable. Then component 1 would consist of 2.8, 2.9, 2.10, 2.17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Now, if you look at that, that's things like culture and organization, internal structure, again, the environment. So then you must come up with a name for that. Okay? You all fine with that?
Yeah. So it's just an interpretation of those questions or a summary of what theme is followed.
But that's very important because these three factors or dimensions must be part of the quality of strategic management, because you'll use this going forward in your analysis, in your hypothesis, and everything. Okay? And this holds for any questionnaire that you use Likert. Fine with that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, that's the validation part. Now, the second part would be to make sure that these questions here, if you go to these questions here, this question, is it reliably measuring, say, if this second component or second factor is the strategic management? Okay, looking at vision and all of that. Is this reliably testing that factor? And for that, we do a Cronbach alpha. Okay?
Okay.
So, okay, I see Human is asking what will each component be called. Each component is the name you give to it. So you know from your theory that the quality of strategic management is supposed to be this three constructs. When you read through the question, it must give a common theme to you. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Brunel, you can maybe come in here and say something about what this will mean, what names you will give to it. Okay. Now the second step is the fact the Cronbach alpha. This is the reliability in SPSS. So for that, the Cronbach alpha coefficient is calculated. Okay. You can all see this?
Yes.
Okay. The Cronbach alpha must be above 0.6 to be acceptable. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Runel says strategic leadership. That could be the first component, but then the other two must also get names. Okay? Now, if you look at this first one, say this one is strategic leadership. Then we say you take all these questions that came out of the factor analysis here. Let me just go back again. This one's here. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, and then 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay? You with me? That's now the construct strategic leadership, the second one. And then when you want to look at the reliability of that, we put all of that in the Cronbach alpha analysis. So that's 2.1, 2.3, 2.4, 5, 6, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay? You all fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the Cronbach alpha for all these questions here is 0.95. So that means that these questions is reliably testing that construct. It must be above 0.6 to be acceptable reliability. Okay. In this case, it's 0.9, so it's actually good reliability because it's above 0.8. You all fine with that?
Yep.
Yes.
What you can also do is, when you go down here, you see these item total statistics, and there's a column called corrected item total correlation. Okay? This corrected item total correlation, this is the correlation of this question with the rest. Now you want the questions to be correlated strongly because it's measuring the same thing. You agree with that?
Okay.
So if 2.1 is strongly correlated to the rest, it means it resides with the rest. It must be part of that construct. Okay. In this case, it's 0.75. Now correlation goes from -1 to +1. So if it's negative, it means there's a negative correlation. It doesn't fit in at all. If it's near 0, it also doesn't fit in. But if it's positive, like this one is 0.75, it means it will fit in there. You all agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I have not looked at Walmart at all.
Sorry?
She's on the conference.
Yeah. Please, if you're not talking, just mute your mics, please. Those of you that not talk, please mute your mics. Okay. Now, if you look at this one, 2.1 is 0.75, so it fits in 0.76. So all of them is, you can see, all of them is quite high. If you get a negative correlation here, you know this is an unreliable question, you take it out. And then it will improve your Cronbach alpha, and you see it will improve your Cronbach alpha. Okay.
So, sorry, just to clarify, Henny, we're saying that it's a direct correlation with the construct, the construct of strategic management.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So in this case, 0.75 is the correlation which is positive and strong. That 2.1 is positively related to the overall construct called strategic management. Leadership.
Okay.
Okay. Say, for instance, this one was minus, say it was minus 0.75. Then it means that doesn't fit in at all. Okay. Now, if you have negatively asked questions in your questionnaire, it will show as negative here, because then it will be the opposite. You all agree with that?
Yes.
Say you said here, our organization do not have clear long-term objectives. You with me? So that's why before you do the Cronbach alpha, you just reverse your questions if it was negatively asked. Okay.
Okay.
You're all with me. But you'll pick it up from here. Okay, say for instance, it's not negatively asked, but it's still negative here or very low. You can take out a question and then it will show you on this side here, what will the Cronbach alpha be by taking it out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that will help to improve your Cronbach alpha. Okay. So now the third step now would be, so what we did here is we looked at the quality of strategic management. There's 28 questions, Likert scale questions. We decided there's 3 factors, constructs. We gave the names, strategic leadership, change management, and there's something else. Then next step is testing each construct on its own for the reliability by looking at this Cronbach alpha here. Okay. So we'll do that for the next one, which is change management, and the third one also. Okay. Then after this step, we want to calculate the score for each of these constructs now. So we want to create new variables for this 3 because we want to work with these variables now. You're fine with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so say for instance, we look at this one here. This one is called strategic leadership. So we want to have a score for all these questions, one score. Now to get that, usually we just take the average. So we take the average of all the responses of a person. I'll show you in SPSS on these questions and get a score between 1 and 5. Because on the questionnaire, 1 was strongly disagree and 5 was strongly agree. You all find that?
Yeah.
So that's the next step. And then this variable, so we'll have 3 variables now that we can work with. And these variables will be used in correlations, regressions, anything else. So when we want to say, for instance, say one of the research questions was, I want to see how the people feel about, say, strategic leadership and change management. Now you can look at the score and see, say if it's 4.5, which is towards strongly agreeing, you can say, but okay, they positive about strategic leadership. Change management, maybe they are at 1.5, they're not positive about it. Okay, so there you're answering your first research question. Then some people say, but now we want to compare that to the biographics. So we want to see, is there differences between males and females? We do T-tests and see, is there differences between males and females on the scores, for instance. just for an example. Okay? Or say we want to do a correlation and we want to see, but is this strategic leadership correlated to, say, we measured performance also as another construct in the questionnaire. We do the correlation between the two. Okay, so that's the whole process. You fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let me go to SPSS.
So before you go there, Henny, this table that we're looking at here, are you going to be able to produce it like for our own subset or our own data set?
This reliability here.
Yes.
You're talking about the reliability. Yes, you can. Now, so that's what we'll do. You will not do the factor analysis, okay? Because the factor analysis, you need a lot of data for. That's why Profenter did it. Or those of you that do your own stuff, you need more data to do the validation. Okay.
So what will we use?
No. So you used Profenter's validation that he sent through on the bigger data set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I get it. So then our constructs have already been validated with his study using factor analysis.
Yes, and that's what I showed you just now here, was on the bigger data set. All of it was done on the bigger data set, everything. I see Runel said strategy implementation is the third component. So these three components here, or factors or dimensions or constructs, is strategic leadership, change management, and strategy implementation. Okay. You all fine with that? Okay. Okay, so what you do then is you use this factor loadings here. This is the factor loadings from Profenter, or if you do your own, and this factor loadings will give you the validation. But then on your own data set, we will do this Cronbach alpha. Okay, fine with that?
Okay.
Do you fine?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, let me go to SPSS. Let me just see if I can share this. Can you see SPSS on your screen?
Yes.
Looks like Excel.
Yeah.
Okay, I've opened SPSS. It gives me this screen. Now this screen here, I said, I don't see a name here, but somebody said that the larger validity will be used to validate the small subsets. Yes. So the validity will be done on the bigger data, and then you follow that validity or that structure from the loadings, and you stick to that, but then you just test the reliability yourself, do the scores, do the correlations. Okay. You fine with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we look at SPSS here, this is the data view. So if you click here, you see there, it's data view. This shows the data. And then when we click there, we see the variable view. That's where you work with your variables in SPSS. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll also have an output screen. Okay. So let me just go first. I go to file. I want to open a new file now. So I want to open a file. Sorry, I see. Okay. Moshiwani said if you want to average all the variables to create one variable, that could happen. But remember, in your research, if you look at the strategic management, the quality of strategic management, there's 3 variables. So from your research or your theory, you'll know there's maybe 3 variables. So you want to look at all 3 of them. You can also combine the 3 and just look at the overall quality of strategic management and then create a new variable also. So you have different options. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, what we want to do now is I want to open the Excel file. But before I can do that, sorry, let me just go to Excel quickly to show you, because there's a problem. There's a problem in this data set. Okay, let me just share the Excel file to you. Can you see the Excel file?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The format must be, the first row is the headings. Just keep it short and simple with A1, A2, all of that. The second row starts with the first respondent, and then in the columns is the variables or the questions, and in the rows the respondents. Okay. But what you must do is, you must just go and save this, go to Excel and save it as a CSV file, not the Excel file, CSV, comma separated. Okay. So I just save it as that. Let me just give it a one at the back and save it. This is just to take out all the formatting from Excel, because when I read this in, there was problems with some of the variables. Okay. You fine with that, Dudu? Dudu, you still on?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Okay, so this is just to take out the formatting for Excel. Okay, so you go to File, Save as CSV. Okay, let me go out here. So you, oh shucks, wait. I closed the window now. Let me just go to, okay, you all see the SPSS, package. Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Harold is talking. Yes. Okay. So, what I'll do now is I want to open the data in SPSS. I go to import data, and then I choose CSV data, not Excel. Okay. So I go to File, Import Data, CSV data. Then I browse to this dataset 1 CSV. You'll see here files of type. It shows CSV. Just make sure to put this on. Otherwise, it will not see the CSV. You fine with that? Dudu, you fine?
No, please repeat that. Please repeat that about the CSV.
Okay. Let me just cancel here. So you go to File, Import Data, CSV data. Okay. You fine with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you browse to where you got your data set that was saved in CSV format. But you'll see there files of type. It must show CSV. Otherwise, it will not pick it up.
Where is the files of type you're referring to?
You can't see it on your screen here. Files of type. I
On
think
your screen.
what you did is you choose file open instead of data, instead of import data, CSV data. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. You fine with that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, then I click on open. Then what it will do is it will show me a screen like this. You see these semicolons in between, indicating the cut, whether the data is cut between the columns or the variables. Okay.
Henny, I can't see anything. I can see your the screen.
Yes.
That I'm in SPSS, but I can't see like your comments.
Okay. Yes. Okay, let me just share that. Okay. You can see it now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this Zoom, you must share each screen on its own. Apparently, it doesn't pick it up. Okay, you all see it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the first line contains variable names. So in the first line there's the variable names. So that must be ticked. Okay, and then the limiter between values is the semicolon. It's that. So that's fine. And then you can just click on OK. Now it's frozen away my screen. Let me just go to the share again. Sorry, with the Zoom, I must share it each time again. Okay, you can see my screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it shows untitled 2. You all see that?
Yes.
And there's my data. It looks like Excel. A1, A2, A3, that's the variable names. in the columns. You all see that?
Yes.
So now my data is in SPSS format. There's 55 variables, respondents in this case. You fine with that?
Yes.
Okay. So what we want to do now, the next step is, the first step is to read in the data. Second step is to provide value labels and variable labels. Okay. So I click on this variable view. You can see the variable view.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So there's the variable name. Don't change this and don't do anything on that. There at the label, here, this column, label. For A1, I can put in a label here and that will show in the output. Now, A1 in this case was, let me just go to the questionnaire quickly. In this case, A1 was the type of organization, like private owned or public or whatever it is. Okay. So what I could have done here, let me just go back. You still see this variable view?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in here, I can just type in type of organization. That's it. Okay. So this will show in the output. Don't put in labels here for the questions. Only do it for the biographical information, nothing else. Otherwise, it will just confuse you. Okay?
Okay.
Fine with that? So the first thing is to provide the label. That's the label of the variable, but only for the biographicals. Then the next thing is to give value labels. So say when it was captured as ones, twos, threes, fours, fives, that kind of thing. Okay? So if you look at the questionnaire, just go to the questionnaire. Let me just take one that's, in this case, privately owned enterprises was 1 and public was 2. Okay? Okay? Let me just see here. Okay. So then you click on this values, this box here. You click on it and the value is 1, and then I type in private company and I click on add. Then 2, I click on public. And I click on
I'm not seeing where you're clicking.
Oh, shucks. Let me share it again. Sorry. This thing is, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So when I clicked inside that box, I get the value labels box. So the value is 1. I typed in 1 here, and then I typed in private there. And then I clicked on add. Okay. You fine with that?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so you only do this value labels for no, Adidas wants to talk also. You only do the value labels for your biographical information that is categorical. So say for instance the next question was how many people do you have in organization? You will not give a label for that because that's just a number. Okay. You fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, can I ask this
Yes.
value label? You
Yes.
double click on a cell, or where do you?
Yes. Let me just show you again.
Yeah.
Let me just show you again. Let me just show you again. Can you see my screen again?
Yes.
When you click there will be a blue in Windows. It shows that blue, that thing there. You all see that
Okay.
mouse. You double click on that, and it will bring up the value labels. It doesn't show now because I must share it again.
Okay.
But the moment you double click on that, it will show the value labels. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the value labels. Then the third thing that you must do is you must set up the measure. You see the measure here? Measure.
Yes.
So when you click on it, it gives you options of nominal, ordinal, and scale.
Okay.
Okay, so nominal and ordinal is categorical variables. Like nominal is something like gender. There's no order in it. Ordinal would be your Likert scale questions. It's still categorical, but there's an order in it. And then scale would be something like the number of employees. Okay, you fine with that?
Sorry, you said the last one was what? Scale, and that is?
Just repeat the last one.
Nominal, ordinal. Nominal, ordinal, scale. Nominal would be something like gender. Ordinal, something like a Likert scale, because it's categories, but there's an order. And scale is actually continuous. That's something like the number of employees. So your construct scores will be scale.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just scared this session will cut off at 40 minutes because I set it up. When I send it to you, I just had a free license, so I cannot have more than 40 minutes. I bought a license, but now I'm not sure if it will allow me to go on or if I must schedule a new meeting. So if it gets cuts off, please just send me an email. Then we can just repeat the meeting just now if you have time. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
So please, if we get cut off here, just all send me an email, and then I send you another link, and then we just go on with the next meeting, just right after this. You all fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Let me just see. Okay. So the three things you do is you give the variable label. You can type in there. Can you see on the screen, Duru?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
the value labels, you click inside there. It gives you the value labels that you put in, and then the measurement type. Okay.
Okay.
Just one trick, you can copy and paste. So I can copy here, and I can paste it. Say, for instance, all this Likert scale questions, I just paste it. Or
Okay.
this year with the strongly agree, even the values, the value labels, I can just copy and paste it in there. Okay, that's quicker.
Okay.
Okay, you all fine with that?
Yep.
Okay, let me. Okay, so that was the labels. That is the third step. Now we want to save this data set. If you look there, you see it says untitled 2. Can you see that, Duru?
Yes.
Okay, so now you go to File, you go to Save As, and we type in here, say, my data. Get any name?
We can't see the box anymore.
Oh, okay. Let me just share again. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you type in my data here, and then you save it to wherever you want to. In this case, it's just saved to this directory. Then I just click on save. Okay. Let me just go to the place it was saved. Because it's not sharing now. Just share. Can you all see it? Can
Yeah.
you see the directory here? It says Zoom
Yes.
Center.
Yes.
So you see there it's saved as my data, as a SPSS file now. So next time
Okay.
you can just open this file directly. You can double click on it, or you can go to File, Open Data.
Okay.
Okay, you fine with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we read in the data, give it value labels and variable labels. That takes quite a bit of time to type in all of that. So if you could do that part, I can help you with more advanced things. Okay, then let us do the reliability. Okay, so the first step now would be to test the reliability. Okay, let me just go to the questionnaire again. That output where it was validated. Okay, can you see it, Duru?
Yes.
Okay, so from this factor analysis, we know that it's questions 2.1 I'm just looking at strategic leadership now. 2.1 up till 2.6. You agree with me?
Yeah.
2.7, sorry, 2.7 here.
Mm-hmm.
And then still 2.13 up to 2.16.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same thing, strategic leadership. Okay, you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is, let me go back to SPSS. Okay, can you see SPSS again?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just do this value labels quickly. I just want to show you something. You will not be able to see it now, but just put it in quickly. Okay, you see the variable view here.
Yeah.
You see there's the value labels, and there's the label, and then the measurement is nominal. When I click on the data view, this is the data view. I'm back here.
Mm-hmm.
I can go and put it on the labels. Can you see the public and private now?
Okay.
You see, so now that's the labels. And then when my mouse is there, you see it says type of organization is the label.
Okay.
Okay, you fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to test the reliability of these constructs now. These three constructs.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just look at the first one, which is strategic leadership that we got from the factor analysis. So we want to do the reliability now. So we go to Analyze, then we go to Scale, and we go to reliability analysis. You all there? Sorry, you will not be all there. Sorry, but you find Dudu?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is not following, you can just type in the chat box. Okay. Okay, let me just share the new screen that's opened. Can you see the reliability analysis screen?
Yes.
Okay. So now what happens in SPSS is all the variables is put in this box on the left-hand side. So you must click on the variables. Say, for instance, we know it's B. Okay, just B 1.1 is actually the 2.1 we're talking about. Okay, B 1.1.
Why is it changed to? Why don't we see it like as the 2.1? Where's the B 1.1 coming from?
It was read in like that. So when you go back to the data set, that was read in like that. That was in the data set itself.
Okay.
Okay. Now you click on the left-hand side to highlight it, and then you can move it to the right-hand side with the arrow.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you want to move more than one, you can click on control and click on a lot of them.
Okay.
Or you can use shift, and then you can do a lot of them in sequence. Okay. But in this case, I choose 1.1 to 1.7. And then
1.3, sorry, 1.13.
And 13 to 17.
16. No, 16. Oh.
17 is out, sorry. You fine with that? I don't see chats here. Is the chat still working?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see any chats coming through to me.
Yes, still following.
Okay. There's no chat. Oh, okay. See, there's one coming through. Okay, good. Okay. 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 So so now this is the construct we know is strategic leadership. That's the questions of the construct. We moved it to this side, and then we click on the statistics button. You see that, do you?
Yes.
Okay. Now I must share it again, I presume.
Yeah.
You see it now?
We can see it. Yeah.
Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, you click on scale and scale if item deleted. That's the two options you must tick.
Okay.
Scale and scale if item deleted. The
All
two
right.
options. Okay. Then you click on continue. Then I must jump. Yeah, it's difficult when it throws you out all the time. Let me just go to the screen again. You see the Zoom is throwing me out each time when I click on something. Okay, can you see the output screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the output screen. So all your output of the results will be shown in the screen in SPSS. Okay.
Okay.
Now you see there's the 0.956 and B1.1 all the questions. So we see it's good reliability above 0.6. Okay.
Okay.
You fine with that?
Yes.
Huh?
Oh, okay. I see the question is how to reverse a question in SPSS. Let me just show you that quickly. Okay, you fine with the reliability?
Yes.
Okay, let me just show you how to reverse a question. To reverse a question, you go to transform. Can you see that video?
Okay.
I usually use recode into different variables.
Okay.
Okay. Not the same, because then it will destroy your variable. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Say for instance, I want to, okay, I must just share it again. Say I want to recode this question 1.1. It was negatively asked. Okay. I move it to the right-hand side. Can you see that? It says here B 1.1 and then there's a question mark. Then the output variable here, I give it a new name. Just remember, you cannot put in any special characters or spaces or nothing in there. Okay, so I usually just put an R in front to remember it was recoded, and I put in B1_1. Fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you must click on change. Then you'll see it will change here. Okay, so a new variable will be created called RB1_1. Okay, you fine with that?
Okay.
Okay, then you click on old and new values. Then I must share it again, I presume. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Can see it.
Okay, the old value would be 1. The new value would be 5. It's a 5-point scale. So the 1s will become 5s. Then you click on add. Then the 2 will become a 4 on add. The 3 will stay the same. That was neutral. You click on add. The 4 become a 2. You click on add. The 5 becomes a 1. You click on add. Can you all see that? You fine with that?
Yeah.
So this will reverse it now. And I click on continue. Now it's gone again. Let me just go to the output screen. Okay, you will not see much. You must click on OK and then click on OK again, because it will throw you back to the original screen. And then in the output, can you see the output screen?
Yes.
Here it says recode, so the recode was done. Okay.
Okay.
But just to see where it is, let me just go to the data set. When you go to the data set, oh, no, it doesn't show.
Will it be the last one, seeing as it starts with an R now?
Yes, yes. But I'm struggling to share it. I don't know what's going on. I just want to share my data set.
Won't you have to scroll to the other side to be
You
far
scroll
end?
to the right. Can you see my data set now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So then you just scroll to the right if you're on the data set, and there you get your variable.
Yes.
Or in the variable view, you go to the bottom. Okay. Then just
Okay.
remember to give it the value labels again.
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
And then you'll use this recoded one in your reliability. So if you go here, analyze, scale reliability analysis, instead of using this B1.1, I'll use the recoded one and then take out the one. Okay, you cannot see. Let me just show you. I've put in, let me just do it again. Okay, so I put in the recoded one, take out the unrecoded one. You fine with that?
Okay.
And then you just run you go to your statistics and you choose scale if item deleted, continue. And then you just go to your output screen.
Okay.
Okay. You fine with that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that's the reliability. Okay, let me just go back to the data set. Can you see my data set again?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to create a score for this variable called strategic leadership. You all agree with me? We want to calculate the variable.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Shuhani asked, can you move it next to B1.1? You take out, you click on B1.1, then you move it with the arrow back, and then the other one you move in again. Okay. Okay, so now we want to create a score. So we click on transform. Can you see that, Zulu?
Yeah.
Compute variable. Okay, let me just share this. Can you see that? Compute variable?
Yeah.
In the target variable, you type in the name you want. In this, no spaces, please, and keep it small. So in this case, I just say strategic leadership. Okay. That's the name of the score. Now this will be the construct score. So it will be an average of, so we go to the right, we go to this function group here. I click on all, I move down here, and then I just scroll and I go to mean. Mean. Click on mean.
Okay.
Okay. Then I move it up. Okay. So that's the mean function now. So everything in brackets, the mean will be done to everything in brackets. Right?
Okay.
Calculated.
So to pick up those variables that we've selected.
Yes. So now, and that's why it's important to do, when we do the reliability, take out all the unreliable questions.
Okay. Makes sense.
Otherwise, if you see this unreliable question in here, the score is unreliable.
Yeah.
You're fine? Okay. So I click on 1.1, I move it in there. Remember, if it was recoded, you should have used the recoded one here. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I put in a comma, 1.2, I move it in, comma, 1.3, comma, 1.4, comma, 1.5, comma, 1.6, comma, 1.7, then I go
Then
to 13, comma, 14, comma, 15, comma, 16. Okay, then just take out that question mark. Okay, you fine with that? Okay, Ronel is asking if this is descriptive data analysis. It's part of it, but not yet. Not yet. So we're creating variables for at this stage. Okay. Now, this mean here will be the mean of all these questions and it will give one score for each person, because we want to have a composite score for each person. We want to see how does this person feel about strategic leadership. We don't want to work with this lot of questions.
Okay.
Okay. So then you can just click on OK. Let me just share again. Share. Okay. Okay. You fine with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let me just go to the chat. Okay. So then you'll see here in the output. Can you see that, Drew, in the output?
Yeah.
Can you see the output?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like now, you know, at
You
the bottom, we've now got the negative, where we did the corrected one. It's now coming out negative. Is it possible to correct if you, yeah. So if we did it like this, are you able to then go back and correct it?
Yes. That negative, you can see that negative one must be out. But in the computation, it was not put in here. So you can see the computation is correct.
Mm.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, when we want to see this, we go to the data set, to the right-hand side or to the bottom. So let me just share this. So you go to the bottom, you see there's a new strategic leadership or the data view. It's 2.45. Can you see that? Can you see that, Drew? I cannot hear you, Drew.
Yes, you can see it.
Okay. Is Drew gone?
Yeah.
Drew, you still
You can
here?
hear me. I'm here.
Oh, you're just a bit soft. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Okay.
that number, is that the mean? The 2.1, the 2.45?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, that number?
What is that number? The
This 2.45. Okay. Remember, 1 was strongly agree on the questionnaire. 2 was strongly disagree. 2 was disagree.
Yeah.
3 was neutral. 4 was agree. And 5 was strongly agree. So this is between disagree and neutral. So this person is a bit more negative about strategic leadership. If you look at this person here, it's between agree and strongly agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
And this score here is when you add this individual responses of the person and divide it by the number of variables. Okay. Fine with that? So this is not actually descriptive statistics yet, because this is just for one person. The descriptive statistics will come later. Okay?
Okay.
You fine with this?
Yeah.
So, okay. So what you'll do is you will create this for each, sorry, the sound is a bit off now. I don't know why. Okay. 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 Can you hear me, Duru? Duru, can you hear me? Are you there, Duru? I cannot hear. Let me just see.
I'm here.
Okay.
I
Yes.
hope I have.
Okay. 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 So then you do this for all the constructs. So you'll do this for the 3 ones of strategic management and the whole questionnaire. All your constructs, all your factors, all your dimensions, you calculate the scores here. Okay. It will become new variables on this right-hand side. You fine with that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Then the next thing is, say for instance, now you want to calculate descriptive statistics. So we go to Analyze. Can you see that?
Yes.
You go to descriptive statistics, but now you choose descriptives, not frequencies, descriptives, because in this case, we want to look at the construct scores of strategic leadership. Okay?
Okay.
When I click on descriptives, let me just share it. Okay?
Yeah.
Can you see that, Dudu?
Yes. Yeah.
I go down, I click on strategic leadership here. I click on it,
Okay.
and I move it to the right. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to choose the options. So in SPSS, just use the default as it is. Just change it if you're not sure. So we just keep this, and I click on OK. Let me just share again. Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see it, Dudu?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see there's a minimum and a maximum and a mean. This mean would be the mean of everybody together, the
Okay.
55 people. So on average, they feel they are at 3.73, which is towards agreeing. Okay, that's the average for everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
you fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so that's your descriptives. Say if, for instance, you want to do your biographicals, you go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and I go to Frequencies now because it's categorical. Okay, then let me just share again. Can you see that?
Yes.
Let me just show type of organization, only that one because it was done. You can do all the biographicals here, even the individual Likert scale questions if you want to look at it. Then you just click on OK. Let me just share it again. Can you see that? Can you see it in the output?
Yes.
So there's private, 29 companies, public, 26. So 52% is private, 47 is public. In your case, it will show the type of company here. I just put it off in my settings because it mess up my when I lecture and things like that. Okay, you fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's your descriptives. Okay, and then the last thing I want to show you is then a correlation. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you can just go on with this part first, then you can do a lot already. Okay, say we want to do a correlation. Okay, for that I need another construct. So let me just create another one. I go to transform compute variable, and what was that? Let me just, I think it's change management. I want to do the change management one. Okay, let me just share again, sorry. Can you see the screen?
Yes, can see it.
I just reset. I want to do the change management now. Change management. And then I want to go to the mean again. So I just browse, go down to the mean. The mean, I move it up. In this case, I think it was just, let me just go to the construct validity. Change management was just 2 questions, I think. (2.11, 2.12). Right technology and the right competencies. I'm not sure if that's change management, but let us just say it is 2.11 and 2.12. That was the 2 questions. So I just put in, sorry, I dropped my screen now. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So I just put in 2.1 or 1.1 in this case, and 1. 12. Okay, 2 is actually you must have 3 items to have a construct, but in this case we just take it as a limitation. Okay, and then I click on OK. Let me just share again. Can you see my data set again?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the change management. You all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Sorry, Nini, I've just got a bit of noise. Let me just put it out. Huh?
Okay. 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 So now,
Sorry, Henny.
yes.
I just want to ask, the descriptives and other analysis will be done on each individual's data, not the pool data, correct?
Yes. So everything actually will be done on your own data. You just use the validation as you got it from Profenter and to get to the constructs, that's all. Okay. Okay. Did you still on again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So now we want to do a correlation. So we go to Analyze, and we go to Correlate, and we go to Bivariate. So Analyze, Correlate, Bivariate.
Okay.
Okay. Then we choose the 2 constructs here, which is strategic leadership and change management. Strategic leadership and change management. Okay.
Okay.
Fine with that?
Yep.
And then we just click on OK. Oh, shucks. But did you see the correlations?
Well, it was very quick.
The screen is not, the moment you go to another screen, it just throws it out in the Zoom. Then I must share again. So let me just do it again. Analyze. And I go to Correlate, Bivariate. Then let me just share again. Can you see the screen? Like bivariate correlations. So then I choose the 2 constructs here, which is strategic leadership and change management. And then I click on OK. Let me just go to share this. Can you see it? In the output? Okay, in this case, the strategic leadership. Strategic leadership with change management, the Pearson correlation, that's the correlation coefficient, is 0.795. A correlation goes from -1 to +1. So if it's away from 0, the further it's away from 0, the stronger it is. So in this case, it's a strong positive correlation. So it means if leadership, they agree with leadership, they will also agree with change management. And then to see if this is significant, this correlation here, this coefficient, then we look at the p-value, which is this SIG. SPSS is called it SIG, significance. It's 0.000, a very small value. So if it's smaller than 0.05, we say it's statistically significant. And this value is so small, it's not printed in here. It's even smaller than 0.000. So in this case, we have a positive, strong, significant correlations between strategic leadership and change management. Okay.
Sorry, just explain the significance again.
Okay, the significance, you look at the p-value. Okay. If the p-value that's calculated is smaller than 0.05, you can say it's statistically significant. Meaning that this correlation is significant, meaning it differs significantly from 0. Okay. In this case, this significance here, the p-value is very small. It's 0.0000 something. It's not even printed in here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is significant then.
Okay. So it's statistically significant, huh?
Yes, statistically significant. So it means that this is far enough away from 0, because if it's near 0, there's no correlation, there's no relationship.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let me just show you one graph, then we can stop. If you go to graphs, I use the legacy dialogues, and I want to do a scatter plot, for instance. Graphs, legacy dialog, scatter plot. And I click on simple scatter. Click on define. In the y-axis, I want to put in, say, change management. That's influenced by, oh, you will not see this, sorry. Can you see it? Simple.
Yeah, can see it now.
In the y-axis, I put in change management, and then the X, I put in strategic leadership. And then you click on OK. Let me just share it again. And then it gives you a scatter plot. Okay. When you want to edit this, you can just double click on it. Let me just go to, now it's not even showing on my screen. Here is the chart editor. Can you see the chart editor?
Yeah.
So here you can edit it. Say for instance, I want to put a line through it. I can click on here and it will just fit the line through. Okay. So you can play around with this and do a lot of stuff here.
Okay.
Okay, that's the graphs. Okay. Okay. Maybe I just want to show you one last thing that's very important, that's used a lot. So let me just show that to you, please. I'm asked for a regression. The problem with the regression is it's very involved. So you must do a lot of things in a regression. I think I'll do that with the next session, but let me just show you where the regression is. Okay, is that fine?
Yeah.
Let me just go out here. Can you see my data now?
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, I can see the data.
So you go to Analyze, you go to Regression, and then you choose Linear. That's what we usually use. So Analyze, Regression, Linear, and then there's your dependent variable and your independence. Oh, sorry. Let me just share that. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Your dependent variable here and your independence in here. But that's quite involved. So there's a lot of things that you must do there, but at least you know where to look for it. Okay. Let me just show you again. Can you see my data set again?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to Analyze, you go to Regression, you go to Linear. And then it will give you this here, dependent and the independence. We can have another session to do a bit more analysis. Okay. You fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay, there's one last thing I must show you because that's used a lot to do tables that you must put in your study. So let me just go there. Can you see my data set?
Yeah.
Okay. You go to Analyze. What we want to do now is we want to create a table for a construct. Say your construct consists of that 10 or 8 questions and you want to put it as descriptive statistics in one table. That's used a lot. So we go to Analyze. Can you see that, Duru?
Yeah.
Tables. And you go to Custom Tables.
Okay.
Share. It will give you this screen. Custom Tables.
Okay.
Click on OK. Then let me just share again. Custom tables. Can you see the custom tables?
Yeah.
Okay. What you do here is it can get difficult to. Let me just show you. You click on. You keep down Control and click on the questions that's part of the construct. Okay. In this case, it's a strategic leadership, but you must use Control, not Shift. Okay.
Okay.
then you see that's the questions. Then I don't push down control anymore, and I drag. Oh shucks, no, sorry, I should have done that. Sorry. Keep down control. Just do it again. Okay. You keep down control, and then you drag it till it becomes red. Can you see that?
Okay.
And you drop it.
Okay.
And it puts everything in this one table here. Okay. Then you can, when you go to the summary statistics here, let me just share that to you. Here, there's the counts, which is the frequencies. If I want to do the percentages also, I click on row percent here and I move it.
Okay.
Sorry, column. Why is it not moving? I don't know why is it not working now. But okay, you can play around with that to put in percentages here also. Then let me just go out here. Let me just share again. Can you see the tables again?
Yeah.
I think then you just click on categories and totals if that doesn't work and do the percentages. Okay. But you can play around with that. But then the one trick that you must remember here is you go to category position. You can see that?
Yeah.
From default, you change it to row labels in columns.
Okay.
Okay. And then you click on OK.
Okay.
Share it. Can you see the output now? It looks ugly because there's no labels or nothing in here, but what it would show then is if you labeled it strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree, and everything in one table of your own construct with percentages also if you set that up. And this tables is used a lot to make a table for each construct if you want to look at the descriptive statistics of the individual questions of a construct. Okay.
And then can you edit this? How do you get it into Excel? Is it just a copy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry, we didn't do any of that. Let me just show you that. Say I want to take this to Word, for instance. I can right click in here and I just, why is it not allowing me to copy? Left click first, right click, and then copy. Left, right click, and then copy. And you do this with all the output. And then let me just open Word, a new file quickly. Then I open a Word file. Can you see my Word?
Yeah.
And then I right click here and I say paste. Okay, this looks ugly because it's not done. It was not set up already. But then it will give you a table automatically here.
Okay.
Let me just
Can you edit that?
Yeah, let me just say, why is it not working? Because it's supposed to keep the, let me just see what, oh, I see that it's, yeah, okay, let me just, you can just see in your, okay, can you see the table now?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like this, and then here you can edit it.
Okay.
Do anything on it.
Okay.
You can also edit inside SPSS. Let me just go to SPSS again. Let me just go there. Can you see the SPSS screen?
Yeah.
Double click in here, and then it takes you to the editor. Okay, it's not showing on my screen. It's not showing on my screen, but you can double click there, and then it will take you to the editor. Okay.
Okay.
And then all your output, this output here, you can either just right click on it like this and copy and paste into Word, or if you want to save all the output, you go to, can you see the output window here? You go to File, Export, and then it shows Word there. You can choose Word. I choose Word here. And then this is my desktop, so I can just type in a new name and say test. Okay, can you see this? Okay, wait, you cannot see this, sorry. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
When you go to File Export, it will give you this screen. Then you choose Word here, and then the file name, I've put in test here, and it will put it on the desktop. And I click on OK. Let me just share again. Let me just go to my desktop. Can you see my desktop?
Yes.
You see the test doc there?
Yeah.
And then I can just open it. Let me just open this and then share it again. Sorry. Can you see it? It says
Yes.
preserve. And there's everything I did. Everything I did is in here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, you're fine with that? I think we must stop for now.
Yeah.
You all fine?
Mr. Khaba, can you just show us how to calculate the mean and the standard deviation of all the variables that are reliable to show on one table?
On one table. Okay.
Yes.
Let me just quickly go there. Can you see my SPSS here?
Yeah.
I go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and then I go to Descriptives. That's one way to do it. Then let me just share again. Then I choose all the variables. That's the construct scores. Is that what you're talking about? Construct scores. Then I click on OK. Let me just share again. Can you see it?
Yeah, can see it.
So there it will show strategic leadership, change management. There's the mean and the standard deviation in one table, all the constructs. Okay. Is that what you wanted to see? Fine with that?
Okay.
I think this is a lot. So I hope this thing didn't crash this big video file, but then I'll cut it into pieces and then put it somewhere that you can access it. Just go and look at it.
That will help.
That will help because
Yes.
Thank you very much, Henny. It's a lot to take in, but it's very helpful.
Yes.
At least now I can understand where we need to take this.
Yes, yes. So what I'll do is I'll cut it. I'll cut and say this is how to read it in. This is to do labels. This is to do the reliability. This is the scoring. This is the reversing. Okay. You fine with that?
Just a question. How maybe
Yes.
help out here. How do you get the SPSS?
How to?
How do you get the SPSS?
I cannot hear.
Yes, as you get it at IT, you have to go to IT at the SBL. They will help you.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
For now, if you can download from IBM. From IBM, because they have SPSS, you can download the trial, but it's massive. I think it's like 500 megabytes or something. Otherwise, just go to IT. If you want to have a trial, you do it from them, and then from IT, you must get the license also.
Hello. Open for how long?
For 14 days. So that's why it's better to get the license also. Okay, so just go to SPL. Yes, I can hear.
IT doesn't seem to respond to the request about the SPSS. I've been calling, I've been waiting on them. They're not cooperative. Is there a way you can help us?
You see, I'm an outside consultant, so I'm not. Maybe your lecturer will help. I will also try to find out. If I find out who's the person you must talk to, I will email that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because I had to go there. They don't respond. I had to go there and then they helped me.
Oh, okay.
The guy who does the maintenance of our Sakai thing for communication, he can also or something. Yeah.
But unfortunately, some of us are outside South Africa, so we can't get to SPL.